welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am making 3 air dry clay trinket dishes using silicone molds and cookie cutters. If you've ever tried working with air dry clay and silicone molds, you know how easily the fine details can get ruined when you pull out the clay. I have an easy trick that changes everything. I'll be sure to link all of the supplies I use in the description below. Let's get started. I'm pressing the clay firmly into the mold to capture all of those intricate details. Make sure to scrape away any excess clay from the back so it sits flush. However, if it doesn't sit completely flush, that's totally okay. You can always sand it out later. So let's talk about the freezer hack. Once the molds were filled, I popped them into my mini freezer for about 30 minutes. Now this is just the time I chose, but you can definitely try a shorter period to see what works for you. As you see, I put these in at 11:13. This is my first time recording this process, but the second time putting clay in the freezer. The first time around, molds were larger with less detail, and I accidentally left them in there for almost an hour. I really encourage you to try different times to gauge what works best for your specific molds and freezer settings. Also, as a gentle reminder, air dry clay is not food safe, so please take the necessary precautions. While I was waiting on the freezer, I went ahead and rolled out the air dry clay to create the trinket dishes. And now it's 11:44, which means it's time to take out the molds. Look at that floral detail. It came out so clean. While the flowers are still firm, I'm going to clean them up and place them on the dish to see where I want them. I'm attaching them to 2 of the trinket dishes using slip. For the third dish, I actually waited until after they were dry to attach them. Once everything was fully dry, it was time to smooth out the clay with sandpaper, which I did not show in this video. After that, I applied gesso and then paint. also give it a tiny bit of extra sparkle and texture by adding some embellishments. Now for the third dish, I decided to go in a completely different direction, mostly out of pure frustration, if I'm honest. I originally spray painted it, but in certain spots, the paint unexpectedly kept messing up during the drying process. After a few tries, I just could not bring myself to spray paint it yet again. So to save the project, I decided to turn a fail into a feature. I grabbed my engraving pen and some sandpaper to give it a beautifully distressed look instead. It definitely wasn't planned, but I love showing how you can pivot when a craft doesn't go your way. To protect my hard work, the final step is sealing them. You'll notice my sealers are in glass jars. I transferred them out of the original cans so I don't have to deal with the mess of rusted lids. For the first two Trinket dishes, I am brushing on a clear gloss polyurethane to give it a beautiful shine. And for the third dish, I am using a clear satin polyurethane for a softer, more muted look. Three different colors, but all with perfectly crisp floral details thanks to a quick trip to the freezer. Again, all the supplies I used today are linked down in the description below. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. If you did, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.